everybody, my name is Terry White. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my experience recently renting a Tesla Model Y for business. I was on a trip and decided I needed to rent a car and went ahead and rented one and rented the Tesla, and we'll cover my experiences and I'll tell you the good and the bad about it. So let's go ahead and get to it. So first and foremost, we're going to deal with expectations, my expectations versus reality. There were some things that were kind of like, never thought of it that way, but they happened, and that's the whole point of this quick video review. So you might remember it was probably about a year ago that Tesla, or actually it was Hertz that really made the announcement, kind of leaked out they were buying 100,000 EVs from Tesla. And of course that sent the Tesla stock up, which made me happy. But anyway, it became a reality. It was kind of interesting because Hertz at the time was kind of like bankruptcy, brink of bankruptcy. So it's kind of shocking to see that where'd you get all this cash to buy all these cars. But who knows what kind of deal they worked out. They worked it out, and it actually happened. So getting ready for this trip, I went on the site. I'm a Hertz Gold member already, so I'm used to renting from Hertz. And as I expected, the price of the car would be more than their other cars, significantly more, depending on what kind of car you're used to driving. But a lot of that can be made up in the savings of not having to buy gas. So that's the other thing you have to look at. And they do rent more than one kind. So in this location, they only rented Model Ys for Tesla, but they also rented the Polestar too. So that was another consideration. I didn't see it at the time when I set up my rental. Maybe because I was only looking for Tesla at the time, but it's nice to know that they do offer a choice. And as you can see, the per day rental prices can be almost double what some of the other cheaper cars can be, but you are getting an EV, you're getting a Tesla, you're getting some conveniences that you wouldn't have with a gas car, like not buying gas. All right, so the pickup experience is about what I expected. It was, I'm a gold member, so it's just really go to the board, look up your number, go to your stall and get in your car. Now, I'm used to rental cars that will have the key in the cup holder or in the, on the dash somewhere. And because this is a Tesla, you do get, a card key when you buy a Tesla. So I'm like, well, since I don't have this car in my phone, it's not my car, I expected the card key there, and it was. As a matter of fact, this was kind of like just a little mental shock, even though it's not a physical shock, that the car was charged to about 85%. And when you pick up a gas car, you're used to it having a full tank. And we don't charge EVs to 100% usually, unless you're going on a road trip and you're about to leave and you charge it up to 100. So it really doesn't surprise me that it would only be 80 to 90% full. And they probably do charge them to 90%, and with a little phantom drain that happens day to day, especially in hot weather, with the air conditioner keeping the car cool, it probably did drop it down to about 85%. So it was just a mental thing that, hey, it's not full, but again, it's an EV, you don't expect it to be full. All right, so the car was clean, no issues. I did notice a little curb rash on a couple of the wheels, but again, that was previous owners, and as long as I don't get charged for it, don't care. But nice car. Clean, basic white. I didn't get a choice of color. And of course, the interior is the basic standard interior, black interior. So you get a key card. And remember, because this car is not on your Tesla account, you don't get all the Tesla app features. So you can't pre-cool the car or, before you get in. You can't, do anything with the app because it's not in the app. So you can only do the basic things with the key card. You can unlock the doors, drive the car, and that's it. And the first night I left the car unlocked because I'm used to get out and walk away and the car auto locks. But that only happens if you're using a key fob or a phone key. If you're using the card key, you have to manually lock the car. And I didn't realize that until the next day when I got back to the car and the car just felt like it was already unlocked. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't So yeah, it doesn't auto lock. So you just got to remember to do that. The other thing that was kind of a quick learning lesson was the settings. Just because you're getting in a Tesla won't be your settings. So I got to my first stop sign on a hill, or a light on a hill, and the car started to roll back. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. because I'm used to a feature that you can turn on that will auto hold. So the minute you stop at a light, it'll just automatically put it on hold so you don't have to worry about it rolling. So I quickly turned that on and then went through all the other settings to make sure that they were to my liking. The other thing, while simply driving the car, that was kind of a shock, is I've always had either enhanced autopilot or full self-driving beta. And so I'm used to things like the car will change lanes for me, or it will automatically stop at stop signs and stoplights. And I've had that now for a couple of years. And I'm like, going back to a car that doesn't do any of those things was kind of a little bit of a shock. So the first stop sign, or coming off the highway on autopilot, the first stop I'm supposed to make, the car starts flashing in red at me because it's not slowing down. I'm not slowing down because I was waiting for it to stop just out of habit. So slam on the brakes, quickly remembered, basic autopilot doesn't do anything but basically keep you in the lane and keep the distance from the car in front of you. It doesn't do any stopping, turning, exiting, any of that. Even if you hit the turn signal, it does not change lanes. So that took a couple days of getting used to driving a car on just basic autopilot. And I would say probably half the time I didn't even bother, because I'm so used to autopilot and full self-driving beta doing everything that if it's not going to do everything, then I'll just drive myself. So yeah, there's that. So also, don't expect it to be on the latest version of the Tesla software. When I got in, there was a yellow indicator letting me know that there was a software version that needed to be downloaded. This is not your obligation. You don't have to download anything. But since I was staying at a place that had public Wi-Fi outside, I went ahead and connected it to the network and downloaded the update. And it was there waiting for me to install the next day. Again, just because I wanted to, not because you have to. The software that was on was working just fine. But I did want to see, could I install the update? Would it let me? So forth and so on. And it let me download and install it, no problem. The next big question is, since I was using the car for several days, how does the supercharging work? Like if I do need to charge, which I did, how's the billing work? Can I supercharge? Do I have to put in a credit card? How does that all work? Well, I saw this even before I picked up the car, that you can supercharge, and if you get charged for any supercharging, which you will, it will just be directly added onto your bill. So you don't have to worry about a credit card at the pump, so to speak, but you will get charged for whatever you charge. So they don't mark it up. It's whatever you charged or whatever you used, they just pass that charge on to you. So for example, I charged twice. It totaled about $27, which we'll see on the next screen in a minute. And those charges just came directly onto my Hertz bill at the end of the rental. So great, no upcharge. Like it's whatever the supercharging cost, that's what I got billed for. And it was way better getting charged for that as opposed to gas. But just looking at the other fees kind of sent me in shock as well. I was expecting the rental, again, to be 500 something plus charging, not to be 700 with taxes and fees and just dumb fees we pay that we get charged for just feel like a ripoff. But anyway, it is what it is. So there's the other additional charges, which is the supercharging, $27.44, exactly what I charged at the superchargers. So that was exactly just passed on to me, no big deal. All right, you don't have to use superchargers. Also keep that in mind. That, for example, in this location, there was a Volta charger, which is free. They're ad-based charging, so they just have ads on the screen. And you can just plug in and charge there as much as you want. I think they have a 2-hour limit, but I've never seen anyone come out and try and enforce that limit. It's just more of a courtesy to the next person that may need to use the charger. What they give you in the trunk is the mobile connector, kind of like no one put it back in the bag, which expected. And it only came with the 120 volt connector. So if you needed a 240 or a NEMA 1450, bring your own. If you want a CCS charger or adapter, bring your own. And of course, they give you the the J1772 adapter so that you can plug into a public charger, which a level 2 charger, which I did. So that's all you get. You just get the mobile connector with a 120 and you get the J1772. Any additional adapters you think you're going to need or you're planning to use, maybe you're staying at grandma's house, wherever it is, and you're going to plug into a dryer outlet, you need to bring your own adapters to do that. All right, unlike a gas car, you only need to return it with 10% state of charge. This was a big plus because it's already bad enough when you're on a trip and you got to stop at the gas station on the way back to fill up because they're going to charge you an insane amount per gallon, which is already in the same amount today. But this was great that I only had to bring the car back with 10% charge because I didn't have to worry about charging the morning I'm bringing the car back or the night before. I just brought it back. I charged twice, used it as much as I needed to, brought it back on, I think I was at 30-something% when I brought it back. No big deal. Didn't bat an eye. So overall, the experience was good. I'd do it again. I had no issues with the car, no issues with driving other than just remembering that it doesn't have all the features I'm used to. And also one more feature it does not have, this is a big one, it does not have premium connectivity. So none of the streaming stuff works. If you want to use Spotify or whatever the other one is, the other radio service that comes in the car, you want to use any of that stuff, you can't because there's no premium connectivity with the car. So you can Bluetooth your phone to play music and all that, which is what I ended up doing. So just remember, if you want to watch videos while you're charging or any of that, you'll be doing it on your phone. You will not be doing it in the car screen because of no premium connectivity. So with that said, the only other thing that kind of surprised me was when I got back and I saw this car charging. I thought, wow, they're even charging this car on a 120 outlet at Hertz, and I'm thinking, you would think that if you're buying 100,000 EVs, that you would have a bank of level 2 chargers or even level 3 chargers on site. And maybe they do. I just didn't see them, or you can't see them from the public view. But they definitely took advantage of this wall plug in the airport parking lot where they're located to charge this one car. 120 works if you're not in a hurry. It will eventually get the job done. All right, so here's my information in the upper right corner there. Yeah, upper right corner to you. That is, you can scan that QR code to get access to all my other channels and content. And if you have any questions about renting a Tesla Model Y, or Model 3, I guess would be the same, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll try and get to as many as I can. With that said, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye everybody.